It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat.
Shalom, 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 y'all. It is Michael Israel here with another episode of Spiritual Combat. Hope everybody enjoyed the episode yesterday with Sister Koya. She's a very busy woman, so it's good when she could come on the show, and she agreed to. She's going to start coming on more often and bring out more stuff for the women as far as a lot of stuff she enjoys doing, like home care stuff, taking care of natural hair and all types of stuff like that. But understand that we are a very busy family, so, you know, so I appreciate her taking the time coming on. Appreciate all y'all that watched, and we'll be addressing some of your questions. I see some of y'all had asked some questions. But with that said, I want to say shalom to everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube. Shalom, Sister Asanawa. Shalom to my man Yehukanan Yasha'Allah. Good to see him on there. Mark Yah, good to see you on there. Georgina, shalom to you. And good to see all y'all watching. And shalom to y'all watching over on YouTube. Smoke and Fire, good to see you on there. Jeremy Israel, shalom to you. Missy, shalom. And Badadiah, shalom to you. All right. So as you can see by the title, the title of this is Who Are We Wrestling? Okay, who are we wrestling? And the reason for this title is kind of it's gonna hit on a bunch of stuff. It's kind of the logical progression of some of the stuff we taught on yesterday, but it applies, of course, to a lot of stuff. Yeah, so, and a lot of y'all, I'm sure, already know the answer, who we wrestling. I mean, you heard it in the Spiritual Combat introduction song. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, and a lot of people don't understand that. Because, and the reason I want to address that is because that ties into a lot of what I see pertaining to relationships, but even more so, what I see just with people in general, that they're wrestling with things and they don't realize it's something spiritual. And a lot of times it's something spiritual in them. And I mean, if you want to see this play out real time, slow motion, go on Facebook. I don't post, especially lately. I really ain't been posting a whole bunch on Facebook. But a lot of times when I do get a chance to go on there, I just watch. And there's certain people you can watch on Facebook. You can see them wrestling, and they swear it's the other person they're wrestling with, but they fighting themselves. And these are people in leadership and stuff like that, just out there fighting themselves, wrestling with anger, wrestling with frustration. And we're going to get into that. Because that directly correlates into relationships and stuff like that, okay? And everything you do, okay? So, who are we wrestling with? And, so, let me see. I'm trying to think of the best way to start this. When it comes to relationships and a lot of stuff I see, of course, you're in a relationship, there's going to be arguments. There's going to be, you'll have disagreements and stuff. And what I see, and like I said, I'm going to come at it from both sides, is with the men. A lot of the men, they're like, the woman's doing this, and she keeps saying that, and she does this. And it's typical problems that me as a man, I understand where the dude's coming from. But I can't even start to do anything with this dude, because a lot of times it'll be the dude. A lot of times the dudes are coming at me, yeah, she ain't really in this truth. And a lot of times I can't even start to do anything with the dude, because the dude can't deal with frustration. Okay? Dudes just be losing their mind. And a lot of times it just results in division. Oh, yeah, but she's still eating pork. She's still doing this, that, and the other. But if you a man and you can't deal with frustration, she not going to see this in you. She not going to see the word in you. And when I say in you, see you walking it out in your behavior, in your responses, in your emotional, whatever you call. All right. So, and trust me, we're gonna come on the female side too now. All right. But with the men, I can't tell you the number of times, and this is, in some of these camps, I get the calls from dudes in the camps. And I've been told the firsthand stories, because, when I counsel somebody, I can't do anything unless they paint a picture of the whole relationship and the dynamics going on in there. So they paint the dynamics. Yeah, man, I came into this truth, and I started going to the meetings, and they would see the leadership or whatever bossing their wives around, and they wives acting like the girl from Coming to America, at the beginning of it, whatever you like, and they playing this role and all that, and then I look, and then I go home and look at my wife, and then they go from 0 to 1,000 in 1 second. All right, woman, don't ever wear pants again. Don't ever eat pork again. You don't do anything on the Sabbath, and blah, blah, blah. And they just, whoo, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I tried to help a dude, but I got there too late, and he was finishing off a divorce because of that, because of that thing, just because of the way he came in there. When the reality is, if you come into this truth, what you're supposed to do is let them see the change in your emotions and in your patience, and that you've calmed down and she don't frustrate you anymore, but on the same note, you're doing your thing. So she see the interchange, and then she's more open to, follow you on the simple external stuff. Just like Rice said, first fix the inside, then the outside. Well, a lot of these dudes, they do all the external stuff, especially in a lot of camps and organizations. A lot of these dudes immediately do the external stuff. But the weighty matter, the hard part is changing the inside. They don't do that. It'd be a mess. And one of the things that they want to immediately implement is this. I'll pull it up for y'all. Y'all know. This is one of the things they want to implement ASAP. The kneel before Zod scripture. Okay? Wives, submit unto your husbands. So wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. As unto Zod. You know what I'm saying? And they don't understand this and the dynamic of what this really looks like, of what that submission looks like and what it takes to get that. They just have a picture of it in their mind, and it's a wrap. And it's funny because they don't understand the spirit of the word, because in the word, they're really not reading and really internalizing and digesting how Christ dealt with Israel. So what they do, they serve Christ in a mechanical, especially the Old Testament Hebrews. It's a mechanical, you got to do the law because he said so. And they're not trying to see what the law was pointing them to. The whole law points you to calming your spirit down and dealing with all these emotional issues you got and all that. Like, when you look at all these laws, it's like, dang. You see all your emotions that fight them, and then it's showing you, okay, fix this, and you'll naturally do all this. But they don't see that. So they just mechanically keep it, and they mechanically expect their wives to immediately be into submission. And see, the women make it so there ain't no fooling this thing. There ain't no getting around what his intent was for us to get our minds right. The woman make it foolproof because women don't operate logically and mechanically like that, So one way or another, you're going to have to change. You see what I'm saying? So that and don't worry, ladies, I'm coming for y'all too, but a lot of the men, and especially these Old Testament Hebrews, they don't understand that. I've dealt with some of these brothers, and just immediately talking to them, you get this mechanical, hardcore machine, emotionless thing there. And like I said, I was watching a biased show the other day. Let me look up a biased show so I get it right. Inside the Nation. Okay, I was watching this show, and yeah, they brought up the fact that there's Hebrews out there, Old Testament Hebrews, that somehow in the scripture they done twisted it to where you could beat your wife, you know? And it's like, and dealing, like I could almost put my finger on who some of these people are, because I'm telling you, I done dealt with these people, and it's like you almost, this mechanical, rigid board comes across in them with no spirit almost. Okay? And if you come in like that, like I said, yeah, you could try that for a while, but eventually it's gonna fail. It's gonna backfire on you because it ain't of the truth. Okay? So, yeah, shalom, Sister Hicks. Good to see you in there. Shalom, Bill. Good to see you watching. Good to see all y'all. So, yeah, so this mechanical thing doesn't work. Okay, so when people read these scriptures, I'm gonna go back to it. They have this is the only this is in huge capital letters when they read this stuff, you know. And what they don't read, they don't continue. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so that's your model, so let wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church. They don't get into all this and give himself for it, okay? So they don't get into all that. And that's what I was just breaking down. Okay? Now, let me see what the other scriptures I have here are. But, let me, so let's see. And then another verse that kind of backs up what I was saying is because men don't understand what it takes to earn a woman's submission as opposed to make them submit. It's more of an earning thing, you know, because you chose to submit to Christ. Okay. He didn't force you into it, you know. You was running astray for years, okay? And then you realized, you weren't forced, you realized that, you know what? His way is the way. That's the same way that you're going to earn your wife's submission. So it says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor to them unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace life, that your prayers be not hindered. So yeah, so this forceful dictatorial thing, it doesn't work. It just creates bitterness and dissension. All right. Now we're gonna come at it from the wife's perspective, because then of course I get a lot of the women saying, you know what, my husband, you know, because you get a lot of dudes is like, why did God give them mouths? You know, I don't understand, because they're supposed to be silent. So I'm trying to, hey, Michael Israel, why did God give women mouths? You know, just to eat, right? You know, isn't that right? Because it says they're supposed to be quiet and shamefaced and all. It's like, no, you know what I'm saying? When it says a quiet and shamefaced woman and all that stuff like that, and that they're a double grace and all that, when it talks about that, now we're coming from the other aspect. Okay, if you're a woman, women are like, what? So that means I'm not supposed to talk? And this, that, and the other? And blah, blah, blah? No, it don't mean you're not supposed to talk and give your opinion and even give your opinion with your little attitude you give it with sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It is not meaning that. But there's a point where it comes from you voicing your concern till it turns into a constant dripping, and it's like, and the dude's like, what in the, where's your off switch at? You see what I'm saying? So we're going to go into that because a lot of women don't understand where that's coming from. Why would this man just want me to shut up, be quiet, and do what I tell him? You see what I'm saying? So women don't understand where that's coming from and why a man would want that. And that's not right. Like, you're not, like, I don't expect my wife to just be some robot. But there's certain situations where, yeah, it just needs to be done my way. And it can't be a bunch of debate and all that stuff. Okay? So that's where a lot of frustration comes from. So let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, let me find my stuff real quick. All right, go back to my tab. So there's a verse here in Ecclesiastes 26:15. It says, "A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued." And look this up. Look up what shamefaced is. Look up what continent means. Okay? And you got to search a little. It's funny. You got this word continent. You got to search a little bit to actually find the definition of it. So I'm going to do that for y'all here, because I think it's in this one, and you got to go down a couple mean. Other words, let's see. Yeah, you got to do a little searching, as I recall, to get the meaning of that word. Because it wants to say the word continent. I think there. So it's the seventh explanation of it. It says exercising or characterized by restraint in relation to the desires or passions, and especially to sexual desire, temperament. So having restraint, not just giving vent to their emotions, being emotional. And dudes be like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what that's talking about there. So it's painting that model. Now, some of y'all asking, well, what does that have to do where my husband, he's trying to be this dictator? How do I deal with that? And the reason I'm saying that is because I had a question like that emailed to me. So, and I'm going to show you, okay? And then we're going to go into some heavy stuff about, I'm going to show you the answer, and then I'm going to show y'all some deceptive stuff that's out there. Okay, so it's okay, so you know where I'm going to go to. Like, if your husband's being a dictator and you trying to figure out, dude, how do I deal with this? Like, what does the Bible say? How am I to deal with it? It says right here, it says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. Okay? And let me continue reading. It says, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. And the chaste just means you're not warring and battling and nagging them, because the more you do that, I'm going to show you what that does, but it's not going to get you anywhere. Now, where the deception of this society tells you, oh, you be independent, you got to stand up to these men and this, that, and other. Why they're telling you that? They're telling you that because it's part of their designed to destroy the family. They know how it won't work. They know if they could get you in there to constantly stand and fight him all the time, they know what the result's gonna be. Because what's the dude's gonna do? A man is a lion, and lions, they're aggressive. When you attack them, they're gonna attack back. You know, and it just turns into this thing, and it results in destruction. But let me show you something else that it results in, because they know what they're doing. This is by design. And we're going to go into this more and make sure y'all understand exactly what I'm talking about, because then I'm going on when it's abusive dictatorial control, okay? So we'll get into all that too. So look, all right, so let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Because when a woman is contentious and constantly coming at the dude, I'm going to show you what it does in the scripture. I'm going to show y'all right here. Okay, what it says is, a wicked woman abideth the courage, maketh a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. When a woman is constantly fighting and aggressive and going back and forth with the man and just won't back down, it begins to affect that man's confidence, self-confidence. And our men are already under attack by this whole society, by the government, by the churches, by everything out there. And then that woman is the main thing that he needs to strengthen him. And now that's beating him now. And it finally weakens him. And yeah, I don't have to go into all y'all, if y'all in this truth, y'all know about COINTELPRO. Y'all know about all that. Y'all know about the government's agenda to destroy the black family. Okay? So I'm showing you all through the book that when something like that's going on, you can't stand there and fight the man. You weren't instructed to do that. You're also not instructed to just shut up and stay in the corner and just be quiet either. You voice your concern, baby. I think you're being a dictator and this, that, and the other. You're like, you know what? I'm doing the word. All right? But baby, you're not supposed to rule like, Hitler, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. I'm not ruling like Hitler. You just don't blah, blah, blah. And then there's a point where you know that, you know what? I'm not going to, and just back off. And voice your concern, and then bring it before the Most High. And I'm just telling you, the way men work, men have a soft spot for women. I don't care. All men got a soft spot for women. So when they see you back down and begin to act like a woman, and you're not acting like Butch up in their house fighting them like some other dude, they begin to get a soft spot, and they give in. You wear them down. You kill them with kindness. And they're like, all right, baby, I understand, Bob, boom, 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 boom. Eventually, he going to need some of that thing. So, just back off, and he going to begin, use all them feminine skills they give you. But this society has made our women so stupid and try to turn them into men and put them in the man's position. Like, yeah, go in there and fight him. Stand up to that man. They watching The Color Purple and Oprah and all these other stupid shows, Housewives or whatever the heck, and all these, I don't even know what's on TV right now. Like, I got a dose of that yesterday, of some of the stuff that's on there, and you don't know what the heck you looking at. But all the crap they put on TV now, which is where a lot of them are getting their programming from, they put you in there in your house with your husband and tell you in a boxing ring and you got to win this fight, and then it's just a mess. And all it is by design. It's an agenda that I can prove, and they control you through the TV and what they show you, and that's what you go in your house and do, and you destroy it. That's why everybody got all these relationships problems. Okay? All right, so, yeah, so, and I'm going to tell you this too, man. You look at a lot of these single women, and I like me, like I said, I study relationships. So I'm able to spot stuff real quick and easy, as far as I could look at somebody for a couple minutes, talk to them for a couple seconds, literally less than a minute, talk to certain people and discern exactly what's going on. And I see a lot of these women who are single, they gladiators, they monsters. Like they won't back down off nothing. You know, they be good looking women too. That's a big sign. You see a good looking woman who chronically single all the time, that mouth stay like this. Okay? I'm talking about, it's literally like a math equation. Okay? But coming back to the men though, because I'm bringing this out in a balanced way. If you a man, okay? Because I'ma just cycle this thing until it's beat into your knucklehead. If you a man and you in one of these relationships and you married to a big mouth woman, you as a man have to stop being such a child and getting so frustrated. And the way to not get frustrated with difficult relationship situations is you got to educate yourself with the Bible and understand the dynamics and understand what's written and understand that the Most High was patient with us all of our lives when we were walking astray. See, a lot of dudes don't understand that. And so that's why they stuff is a hot mess. And let me tell y'all something about women, man. Because in them running their mouths and nagging and venting about this, that, and the other, and the dude is, only thing the men hear is, and they're like, man, she just wicked. Look, she's supposed to be submitted. But they don't listen through what she really saying, because they really saying stuff. And they really seeing stuff. Because the women are so sensitive with their perception of stuff that they see all your flaws, your emotional flaws and your lack of leadership and lack of wisdom, all this stuff. They see all that. And they see you trying to wear fringes, and so that's why they're not going to submit to that. But when they begin to see you begin to lead righteously, they begin to see you make wise decisions. They begin to see your emotional responses to stuff. They begin to see that true inner cup cleaning like Christ talked about. Oh, they begin to get right on board. They can't resist it. They naturally melt into that. Okay? What I'm talking about here, I'm like nailing 99, I say, yeah, almost 99% of relationship issues right here. This is it. This is like the source. Okay? So that's why it goes back to, who are we wrestling with? A lot of us are just all the conflict in our relationships and stuff we got going on is a result of us not dealing with inner stuff inside ourselves and bringing that true inner change. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. And like I said yesterday in that lesson I did yesterday, this stuff I'm talking about is, a relationship brings it out, magnifies. So where you've done a lot of spiritual development, a lot of spiritual work when you were single, and you fixed a lot of stuff. And now once you get in a relationship, it magnifies any minute flaw in you. It magnifies it 20 times. Then what you do, you throw kids into the mix. It magnifies it even bigger. And then what happens out of our pride, a lot of people be trying to do patchwork. Oh no, and it's just a bunch of, nah, folks need to get to work, man. Yeah, Sister Sonoma, she put, learning to quiet yourself is the most powerful and humbling thing. It allows you to watch, listen, and use your discernment. Yeah, you can watch emotions popping up in you and all that, men and women alike. So you're hooking on, put warning, fellas, a good looking woman constantly single is, yeah, it's a red flag. What glitters? Yeah, what glitters ain't always gold. Yeah. Yeah. So, but a lot of times, people are already in these situations. And, I deal with the cleanup cases. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're all trying to get perfected. So you can't come at me like, hey, Mike, yeah, I messed up, man. I chose that glitter. I chose a good-looking girl, and she a monster. So yeah, I need to get rid of her. No. Y'all need to put some work in on yourselves, because it ain't all that girl, A lot of these dudes who done picked a girl like that, what the dude wrestling with lust, which is just as wicked as some woman running around running her mouth or whatever she do. Okay? So that dude won't have mercy on that girl because she a mess, because he got a heavy problem that he need mercy on with the lust. So it's all, so the way you got to look at this stuff is like, is that it's a, you got to look at it from a positive, get your mind right, gold purified in the fire thing. And some of y'all got the flames up real high. Jump on in there and start getting perfected, because the most efficient way to get rid of a lot of these relationship issues is the worst way is just clashing. The best way is just, she yakking all the time, but what's she really saying? What's the underlying, they running their mouths, they speak womanese, but what's she really saying? And she like, you don't do that. I don't like that. Why you in this? And what she really saying is, I haven't seen any interchange in you. This is what our communication might really be. You're not really leading the way I already know a leader should be. The Most High has put it in me instinctually to be able to identify a leader, and I don't see those qualities in you. They might be saying stuff like that. You're not making wise decisions. You're not sensitive to what my needs are. And when I say sensitive, I mean, you don't really understand what I'm really saying. That a lot of times that's all they say. But you done already hit the mute. I know once I understand what's being said, I hit mute. Boom. Okay. But they might be saying it. They might be saying, you know what? You let me run all over you. They're saying this stuff in their language of womanese, and a lot of dudes aren't using it to turn themselves into real men, because a woman instinctually knows how a real man should act on an instinctual level. They're born knowing it. Okay, that's why a lot of them are attracted to bad boys and certain qualities. They're not attracted to bad qualities. They're attracted to leadership things. They have an emotional response when they see certain leadership qualities in men. And I mean, if y'all want, like, I could do a lesson just showing you that on a minute molecular scale. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, man. Yeah, shalom, Raymond. Shalom, Sonia. So yeah. So let's see what y'all saying on here. I think I'm gonna have to blow my nose here in a couple minutes. Y'all, hold on one sec. All right. This cold's really beginning to go away, so that's good. And all the stuff's, you know, all the mucus and everything's coming up. But anyway, so let's read some of y'all statements. Yeah, Mark put, yeah, exactly. Breathe, stay calm, and think. Exactly. But let me say this, because I'm glad you put that in there, Mark. I see some people, they want to go, yeah, when you're in an argument, you're real upset, go, goose, blah, blah, and do some type of stupid, meditation thing. So, no. Let me tell you, the only reason people get frustrated and angry and upset in these situations because they don't understand what's going on and why and what to do. So what you need to, it's not so much of an issue as you learning to control your anger. It's a thing of you're angry because you're frustrated because you don't know what the heck's going on and what you need to do and how to handle the situation. So what you need to do is get wisdom. And how you going to get wisdom? Studying this word. All right. So it says exactly, be hasty for nothing. Yep. That needs to be worked. The truth hurts sometimes, but it's still the truth. A kind word turns away wrath. Exactly. Facts. Facts on both sides. Everyone has to take this as an opportunity to address their mess and have patience for each other. Exactly. And I'm going to tell you, like I could show you, say it's a dictatorial man. Well, I showed y'all the example when that woman begins to just back off. I didn't say she got to shut up and not say anything, but voice her concern. But know when it goes from voicing your concern and it turns into nagging, which is a form of torture if you ask me. But anyway, so when you learn to do that, that man is going to have an immediate response to that. Okay? He's going to feel guilty. He's like, you know what? She done backed down. And she went over there and read. And I'm like, dude, just soft like that. He going to just give it, you know what? We can do it your way. That's fine. Dudes is weak like that for women. For women. But when you acting like a dude ain't good. He going to bang with you. That's simple stuff that the older women are supposed to be teaching our younger women. But the older women, you better be careful bringing your wife around an older woman. She'll wreck your house. All right. So same thing for a man. Okay. When the woman just got a big mouth that won't shut off, you know what I'm saying? And you like, all right, she just, where's the off switch? And there's just no turning it off. The step one is understanding, hey, what's going on there? And this is how I teach the men dealing with big mouth women and stuff like that, is step one, don't just, oh, she just emotional and write off what she's saying. Listen to everything she's saying, whether she know you're listening or not. And then you got to look through what she's saying. What's she really saying? Am I bad emotionally? Am I a bad leader? not understanding to what she's really saying. Is that what it is? Am I making bad decisions? What's going on? Go off and do the mental audit. But on the same note, if they won't shut up and they're not shutting their mouth and they just keep going, leave. Don't sit there going back and forth and then it turns into something ugly and you wreck her life or your life or whatever. Leave. Get up out of it. I tell men quick. Sometimes you might have to stay gone for a couple hours, a couple days to let them emotions come back down on both sides, you know. And so yeah, and like I said, I could go all into that, but yeah. Okay, so somebody has a question. It says, how do you get a man or husband not in this truth to realize that it starts with his relationship with Yah? Okay. How do you get a man or husband not in this walk? Okay, and I'll pull that back up. I talked about it earlier, but I'll bring it up again. It's no sweat. All right, let's see. You go first Peter chapter 3, verse 1. It says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, that also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. And let me go to verse 2. It says, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. Okay? So you ask, how can a wife win over a husband who's not in this truth when she acts the way the Most High instructed women to act towards their husbands in this word? It's going to naturally melt that man down and win him over and get his attention immediately and begin to spark a curiosity about this truth. When what? She ain't nagging. She begins supporting the man and becomes a Proverb 31 woman to that man. That is going to win him over. That's how it tells you to win him over. Nowhere in the Bible will it tell you to just nag him until he hands you a stack of papers and asks you to sign them. I mean, that's what the world tells these women to do. And it feels good. But look at the black relationship, the condition of black relationships right now. You know? So yeah, man. Yeah, shalom, Elder Cletus. Good to see you in there, man. Many daughters have done nobly and well, but few excel them all. The same with men in relationship issues. Yep. Of fact, let's see. Okay. So yeah, that's how you do it. It's the exact opposite of what this society is programming our women subliminally to do. Society tells them, oh, you independent, you big, you bad, you this, you that. Oh, don't trust in no man and just poison. Out of every culture out there, our women are the only ones that this is targeted at that do all this stuff, that destroy their own houses and don't realize it. And they're like, well, I got this degree in my career and this, that. With their careers, they're supporting another nation. And they love it. While our nation is just in shambles. You know? So, Malachis said, big mouth women have idols. Rebellion is witchcraft. Stubbornness is idolatry. Wow. That's heavy, huh? So, what I always tell people is either side can bring change. So when a relationship's falling apart, it's both people was off and wicked. If you get one person in this truth, that relationship is going to be changed. So when I get people like, oh, no, it was her. She was wicked, man. I had to end this thing. Yeah, now there's some extreme situations, but if you got this, like a lot of people say they do, which I quickly find out they don't, you know, and understandably so, because there's been a agenda to keep this information, the stuff I'm saying, to not let this stuff come out, what I'm saying. Okay? There's an agenda out there to, you know, shut this stuff down. So, you know, understand, I understand that, you know, a lot of people don't get to this information. That's why it's important for y'all share this stuff, man. Get the word out. So yeah, let me, I need to check. Make sure nobody sent me any emails. Nope, they didn't. That's good. All right. Making sure I address everybody's concerns. Oh, that was there. Okay. So yeah, but yeah. Yep, and this agenda is to destroy us, and folks don't realize it, you know. And it's on both sides. Like, the men don't understand what it takes to save this woman, win her over, get her in order, get her in line. They think it's just brute force, you know. Hammer, hammer, hammer. You know, they think that's all it is, okay? And then the women are just giving vent to their emotions. They're worshiping how they feel because they've been programmed from by the culture to just, if you feel mad, disrespect them and say whatever the heck you want. And they've become so used to that, they don't know how to turn that off. And they end up destroying their own houses. And in doing that, giving their kids a bad example. Their kids go out and think that's how they should deal with a man, or a man thinks that's how women are. All right? And it's so subtle. That's right, Mark. It's so subtle. Yeah, it's so subtle. And, well, I'll say for me, I don't watch anything. I don't watch TV. So when I turn on TV, it's so obvious that it's what I would say it's, when I turn the TV on, it's spiritually loud to me, to the point where I just got to turn it off. I was like, ooh, because the programming coming across in there is loud to me. You know, if you haven't watched it in a while. All right, so no, but if you are already a not nagging woman who has chased conversation with her husband, no complaint from the husband, then I guess it's just patience. Patience, yes, patience, but it's also praying, fasting, and seeking the Lord. You know, and just you don't have to nag, but you continually voice your concern in a non-annoying way. You know, make your concern known. Okay, and praying and fasting. So where all that emotion and energy and anger that these women use to power them jaws, use that for praying and fasting. And then you'll see some efficient change. You wake up one morning and your husband be watching me. I'll just play. Let's see here. Yeah. All right, so let's see. So Sister Tracy put, okay, let me read the ones before that. All right. So Rachel stole her father's idols. He have to be strong enough to strip her of her father's idols with patience and love. Jacob endured. Exactly. All right, shalom, Sister Janet, watching from London. All right. Mark said, knee-jerk reaction is how most people react. Men and women alike. Right. A lot of the abuse situations you see where it turns physical and the man's hitting the woman and the woman's hitting the man. Because let's be 100. These abuse situations where they're like, oh, men are abusing women in this nation. And that's true. But it's just as much as the women too. It's both. And it's because you got a lot of feminized men who can't control their emotions, and nobody's instructing these men on, hey, when the argument just goes out of control like that, nobody's telling the man, just leave. Give it a break for a while. Get away from the situation. Physically separate yourself from the situation. Nobody tells anybody that, so that things can calm back down. But instead, you got emotional men, emotional women. It turns into a boxing match. Okay? Because there's a lack of good information. Dudes are so busy breaking down this in the Hebrew, but you gotta learn the Hebrew. It's like, no, you gotta learn how to take the boxing gloves off. You know? And you don't need you could read the Message Bible or whatever one of them watered down Bibles is and learn what I'm teaching here. Because, you know, if you know the Hebrew, but you punching your wife in her mouth, who cares? You know? You're going to learn the rest of the Hebrew in prison. All right? So let's see. So Tracy put, so much of this has to do with self-awareness. Exactly. Spiritual and emotional. Exactly. That's what the whole book's pointing you towards. Is to look at ourselves. Yeah. When I grew in my understanding of the word, I wanted to move away from the worldly strong women doctrine. I also realized how much my community needs me to be in my proper role. Less emotional, more support. Peace solves so much in relationships. Yeah. And that strong woman doctrine is even moving into the Hebrew Israelite movement. You know what I'm saying? And when you have people going the other extreme, because a lot of them are out there teaching the dominant man doctrine, now they counter it with the strong woman doctrine when it's really in something in the middle. Okay? So, yeah, people just be reacting. Yep. All right, let's see. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so, you know, but yeah, you know, we gotta, and what I'm telling you, what I'm teaching here is just the same stuff I say in counseling or whatever. You know, in counseling, though, it's a lot more specific, exact. I can say a lot more. But when I'm teaching, I got to be more of a blanket approach to hit everything and everybody, you know, because look, just like me and Sister Corey was saying yesterday, with your warn all through the Bible, because this is heavy. All through the Bible, it is warning you about the women. It's letting you know the women are the weaker vessel. Satan went after the woman to manipulate her to destroy the man. And it's warning you all through the Bible about the woman. And what happens... okay? The woman is a weaker vessel. This is who Satan goes after. So when he goes after her, he's going to do a bigger number on her than he could do to a man, because she's a weaker vessel. And the Bible's telling you this all through it. That he done did a number. So today, he done did a number on the women. You get a wicked woman, she extra wicked with sugar on top. And is warning you about that. in no uncertain terms all through the Bible. You don't see the Bible anywhere warning you about men. Okay? And what the scary thing is when you look in religious teachings, people teaching the Bible and all that stuff like that, who are they? They always lean towards the woman's favor. Like, oh, it's them bad men. I'm telling you, there's a lot of heavy deception out there. And what I'm saying, I'm not saying, oh, it's the woman, and it's all their fault. I didn't say that. What I said, at the end of the day, the responsibility lies with the men. The women are so wicked and so off because men haven't stepped in their rightful spot and led righteously to get these women from being so wicked and deceptive. So I'm trying to approach it as balanced as I can, because a lot of women don't want to realize what I'm saying. But women know what I'm saying is right, because if you think I'm lying, I can prove it. And the women will admit what I'm saying is true right now. Look out. A woman will say, oh, no, I know the way women are. That's why I'm watching her. Because they know how they think. So a dude would be like, oh, no, she just came by and, she just said hi. That's all. This, that. And they're like, because they know the thoughts of a woman. They know how these women think. Y'all, I see y'all women in here. Y'all let me know if what I'm saying is right. A woman knows the wickedness of a woman. That's why if a woman comes anywhere in her man's, vicinity, they'll be like, so why was she doing that? And the dude is like, what? She just did so-and-so. And like, no, I be, and the dude, like us men, we like, oh man, they being crazy and petty. No, they just know the way they are. Okay? So, knowing that, we're not putting the responsibility and the blame on the women. Just know that, what I'm trying to say is know that and see that this, what I'm saying is, what's driving this, what perpetuates this, what keeps this thing going, is that a lot of these people teaching the Bible, whether they're Hebrew, Christian, whatever, still are not aware to this fact. They buy into the feminist agenda and breakdown on things. And that's out there. That's prevalent. The Jezebel spirit, that's prevalent all in the Hebrew community and in the Christian community. And all it does is continues the relationship destruction and issues. That's why I do messages like this to balance this thing out, bring truth to light, shine the light of truth on things, pull the curtain back, and say it the way it is. In an equal way, not attacking women and not attacking men. Because I ain't got an agenda like that. I'm trying to edify our families and bring us together. All right? So I see y'all put a lot of stuff in there. Torah. Oh, y'all put a whole bunch. Let me read. About matters, the life application of it matters. Emotional IQ makes a difference. Yeah. If you can communicate your, and the way you're going to learn to do that, Sister Tracy, that's a good statement you put there, Sister Tracy. So the way you could do what Sister Tracy said, gaining an emotional IQ and understanding what's going on in you, is you got to study the Word. And the place I tell everybody to start is the book of Proverbs or Ecclesiasticus, and Ecclesiasticus or Sirach in the Apocrypha. Those two books are good places to start to reflect on yourself. I appreciate y'all praying for me. So Sister Janet put, I have been with my husband for 32 years. Uh-oh. And let's see if what I'm saying is on point. All right? Because now she said she's been married 32 years. So let's see if what I've been teaching lines up. She said, and married this year will celebrate 29 wedding anniversary. I believe strongly in prayer and fasting for every aspect of my marriage, home, children. Let's see. Children, finances, most of all for wisdom and deeper revelation of God in my life. I am a strong woman and support my husband. He does not dominate me, but I know he is the head of my household and give him that respect, but he doesn't abuse it. There you go. And I'm just reading this live. This ain't scripted. I'm just telling you what I'm saying lines up. Okay? All right, so Yehukanah Yashala said, women know women. Yeah, those verses I don't read all the time, but they're in Ecclesiastes. They're like, no wickedness is like the wickedness of a woman, and there's a bunch of verses in Proverbs too, letting you know the level of wickedness a woman could go to. If you think I'm lying, ask some dude who went through an ugly divorce to tell you his war story. And his face will be like, when you ask him that, immediately he'll be like, man, yeah, you know. All right. So Solomon put corruption from the world. We need to be set apart. The world confuses the roles of men and women. Yeah, we're emulating our oppressor rather than scripture. Yeah. And I can't tell you the number of times, like, I have read some of these scriptures straight to a woman, and the scripture says what it says, clear as day, and they literally sit there and say, nope, I ain't doing it. Like, wow. Yeah. But it's not, so here's the wisdom though. A lot of dudes throw them out of that. Oh, she just evil and wicked, that's why. But then they don't factor in what happened to make her that way. Why would she never submit? What was done to her to make her have zero confidence in men? You see? That's why I got a problem with these dudes who just want to dominate a woman. They don't realize, look, this woman was raped or molested or just men done dogged her out her whole life. Father wasn't there. And now you coming, kneel before me, woman. Like that. You're stupid. You're dumb. That's why I say the responsibility lies with the men. Because these women aren't just like this for some simple reason. These women have been broken and hurt. So don't be so quick to just toss women out and just call somebody wicked and evil when you're not trying to get into the inner workings of what's really going on up in here. You can't have a Captain Caveman mindset. You got to be willing to consider things. Okay? All right? It's by design. yeah, Sister Tracy say, okay, yeah. Sister say, yeah, she got to break stuff down for her brother and her cousin all the time. How these women think, yeah. The men need to realize they can't deliver a woman, only Yah can deliver her. A man can, a man is the savior of the body. Like that verse said. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. The man can, he has the power where he can save this. He could help her come out of that hurt, that bitterness, that unforgiveness, that rebelliousness. He can help them come out of that. Men need to use wisdom and discernment in the beginning. Discernment in the beginning, just like in the beginning, just like we do. We both have to. Yep. Let's see. Ask the right questions early will give so much understanding for men and women. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see if you are all. So yeah, so like I said, but yeah, that's, you know, it's basic stuff, man. We gotta get. It's easy to learn all the history and all that other stuff. You know, that's just repetition. You know, but this is the weighty stuff that we gotta get right, so we can begin to come together as a nation. Because a lot of what I see in the Hebrew Israelite community, and of course in the Christian community, is hold on one second. Of course, in the Christian community is just people who, yeah, I believe in the Bible, so they just, hey, I believe in the Bible, but all the same stuff following them around in their relationships and in their life, and you know, so now we know you really don't believe in it, you know, so, and then but it's important to just get this understanding out there so that, you know, these relationships can begin to heal properly and efficiently and quickly, you know. So Mark is asking anybody from the Flint area, okay? Anybody from Flint, Michigan area? Anybody from Michigan? I know I've seen a couple people from Michigan in here. But yeah. So you're hooking on, put through the spirit and power of the Most High, Yah, a true man of Yah can save her, but definitely not a carnal man. Exactly. Yeah, that's good. That's good, John. You're hooking on. Yep. Yeah, you ain't gonna save her in your emotions. Yeah. But so yeah, y'all, I want to, let's see. I'm gonna be going live later. I got Ugo gonna be coming on later on. Judah Mack might be coming on later on, even later on. So you know, y'all be on the lookout. But outside of that, I'm gonna wrap this broadcast up. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I am Michael Israel. Y'all watching Spiritual Combat. Yeah, Mark, nobody responded with the Flint. Just keep an eye in the comments, because more people going to watch the video later on. And if they saw you put that in there around this time in the video, you'll see them put it in the comments, and you can reach out to them. And don't forget, Mark, it's on YouTube also. All right. So anyway, with that said, y'all, Michael Israel, y'all watching Spiritual Combat. Shalom.
Wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. It's a spiritual combat. It's a spiritual combat.